The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the holographic projection flickered to life. Commander Kiza of the Valoran Defense Fleet stared at the impossible image before her, a massive vessel, its hull scarred by millennia of cosmic radiation, drifting at the edge of charted space. "Impossible," she whispered, her scaled hand trembling over the control panel. "That design. It's from the Lost Era." Her superior, Admiral Thrain, leaned forward with his four eyes narrowing. "Run another scan. That ship shouldn't exist." Kiza's fingers danced across the holographic interface. The readings confirmed what her instincts already knew. The vessel was over 20,000 years old, yet its power signature suggested something still lived within its metal bones. The hull bore markings in a language the galaxy had forgotten, a civilization erased from history so thoroughly that most species considered them myth. Humans, Earth, the silent planet. "Sir," Kiza said, her voice steady despite the ice forming in her chest. "I'm detecting an active distress beacon. It's broadcasting in over 300 languages, most of them dead. Can you translate?" She nodded, routing the signal through the linguistic database. Ancient tongues scrolled across her screen, Zarathi, Old Valoran, Proto-Zithian, until finally one message repeated in Galactic Common. "This is the UESS Retribution. We are coming home." Admiral Thrain's face paled to a sickly gray. "Seal this information. No one outside this room learns of this discovery." But it was already too late. Across the galaxy, in a small mining station on the frontier world of Kalos 7, a human named Nick was about to change everything. Nick had been working the ore processors for 6 standard years, one of the few humans scattered across the galaxy after Earth's mysterious silence 20 millennia ago. Humanity had been explorers once, pioneers who'd seeded colonies among the stars before vanishing without explanation. Their descendants lived as curiosities, relics of a forgotten empire. He was elbow-deep in a malfunctioning extractor when his personal comm unit exploded with chatter. The other miners, Valoran, Zithian, even a Kresh or two, were gathered around a broadcast screen, their faces painted with fear. "What's going on?" Nick asked, wiping grease from his hands. A Valoran miner named Sethra turned to him, her eyes wide. "They found one of your ships. An old one. A warship." Nick's heart skipped. "That's impossible. Earth went dark before the Great Silence. We know." Sethra pulled up the pirated broadcast on her datapad. "But this ship? Nick, it's still operational, and it's heading toward Council space." The image on screen made Nick's breath catch. The vessel was enormous, dwarfing even the Council's largest dreadnoughts. Its angular design spoke of a brutal efficiency, a purpose built for war, and along its hull, barely visible through the cosmic scarring, he could make out lettering in a language he'd only seen in forbidden archives. "US Retribution?" "They're scared," Sethra said quietly. "The Council. They've been lying about Earth for 20,000 years, saying your people were primitives who destroyed themselves. But that ship, that's not primitive technology." Nick felt something stir in his chest, something he'd buried beneath years of discrimination and second-class citizenship. Pride. His ancestors had built that monster. They'd sent it into the void, and somehow, impossibly, it had survived. "I need to get to that ship," he said. Sethra grabbed his arm. "Are you insane? The Council has quarantined the entire sector. They're moving their fleet to intercept it. Then I need to move faster." Commander Kiza stood on the bridge of the Sovereign Dawn, the Council's flagship, as it approached the coordinates of the human warship. Around her, 36 battlecruisers formed a perimeter, their weapons charged and ready. "Hailing frequencies open, Commander," her communications officer reported. Kiza took a breath. "This is Commander Kiza of the Galactic Council Defense Fleet to unidentified vessel. You are entering restricted space. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." Static crackled. Then a voice, human, male, distorted by age and distance. "Negative, Council vessel. We have been silent long enough. Earth remembers." The retribution began to accelerate. "Sir, their weapon systems are activating," the tactical officer shouted. "I'm reading energy signatures we've never seen before. The void lit up with blue fire." The Retribution's weapons weren't like anything in the Council arsenal. They didn't fire plasma or kinetic rounds. Instead, they tore at the fabric of space itself, creating miniature singularities that swallowed Council ships whole. 3 cruisers vanished in the first volley. Return fire, Admiral Thrain roared. All ships engage. But their weapons splashed uselessly against the human warship's shields. Technology 20,000 years old shouldn't have been superior. It defied every principle of advancement the galaxy understood. That's when Kiza realized the terrible truth. Earth hadn't fallen behind. They'd been hiding. A small transport ship broke through the battle lines, weaving between exploding vessels with reckless precision. Kiza's sensors flagged it immediately. Commander, we have an unauthorized craft approaching the Retribution. She pulled up the identification. Her blood ran cold. Nick Chen, human, registered minor, no military experience. What is he doing? She whispered. Nick's stolen transport rattled as he dodged plasma fire, his hands dancing across controls he barely understood. The Retribution loomed before him, a metal mountain suspended in the stars. Come on, he muttered. You called us home. Let me in. As if responding to his words, a hangar bay opened along the warship's flank. Nick didn't hesitate. He punched the throttle and dove inside. The interior was dark, lit only by emergency lights that had been burning for millennia. Nick's boots echoed on metal floors as he made his way deeper into the ship, following ancient directional markers in English, a language he'd learned in secret, passed down through generations of scattered humans. Finally, he reached the bridge. At its center, suspended in a cryogenic chamber, was a woman. Her skin was pale, her features preserved perfectly despite the eons. A nameplate beside the chamber read Captain Sarah Chen, UESS Retribution Chen. His name, his ancestor. Nick's hand trembled as he reached for the revival controls. Outside, he could hear the battle raging, the Council desperately trying to stop a ship they couldn't comprehend. The chamber hissed open. The woman's eyes snapped open, blazing with consciousness 20,000 years old. Report, she said, her voice hoarse but commanding. Captain, Nick said, tears streaming down his face, welcome home. Earth needs you. Sarah Chen smiled, and in that moment the galaxy remembered why humanity had once been feared. The Retribution had returned, and with it humanity's long-suppressed truth. They hadn't abandoned the stars. They'd been waiting for the right moment to remind the galaxy exactly what humans were capable of, and that moment was now.